We should never allow the government to decide what is acceptable speech and what is unacceptable speech. We should penalize behaviors, not opinions, and not speech. If you start trying to regulate speech, you start trying to regulate thoughts, you start trying to regulate beliefs rather than behaviors, there's no way that you're not going to abridge the constitutional rights of millions of Americans.
That's here. That's done.
Are we on the air? Let's go right now, ladies and gentlemen. California and the nation are presently experiencing an all-out escalated nuclear war. We are being told the Russians have launched a preliminary first strike initiative against the United States. Chinese forces are also believed to be involved in this surprise attack on the United States. We do not know if North Korea launched any of their missiles, but nothing is impossible.
This is the emergency alert system. Do not turn off your television. Please keep watching for additional information that will shortly be given from the Office of Homeland Security or this local television or radio station. Again, do not turn off your television. This is not a test, this is a real emergency taking place. This is the emergency alert system. Do not turn off your television. Please keep watching for additional information that will shortly be given from the Office of Homeland Security or this local television or radio station. Again, do not turn off your television. This is not a test, this is a real emergency taking place. This is the emergency alert system. Do not turn off your television. Please keep watching for additional information that will shortly be given from the Office of Homeland Security or this local television or radio station. Again, Do not turn off your television. This is not a test, this is a real emergency taking place.
We're going to a shot from Air Force One. They say they are leaving Washington airspace and escort fighters are trailing the aircraft. What's happening? Oh no, our great dictator's plane has been hit with an EMP blast wave from a thermonuclear device. Oh no, no. Ladies and gentlemen, the last word we received was that our great dictator, Barack Hussein Obama, was apparently lost in this nuclear detonation over Washington. If we learn confirmation of this information, we'll let you all know as soon as possible. However, even more shocking news has been received from the Middle East. According to NBC News in Cairo, Egypt, the Saudi Arabian government has just announced that the Russian Federation has also attacked Mecca and Medina. No video has been received via satellite as yet, but we'll air this as soon as we receive it.
We interrupt with this news flash. Barack Hussein Obama, our great dictator and world leader, has been identified at the crash site of Air Force One just outside Virginia. According to first reports, all were killed on board in exception of Obama, the only known survivor. All the world is in a state of utter disbelief over this astonishing announcement from the United Press International. As to the rest of the Obama family, we have no evidence that Michelle or their children survived. Only Obama himself walked away from the aircraft unharmed. How, we don't know. We aren't able to get video coverage at the present time because of excessive radioactivity. Only some cellular sites are operating in the outlying areas around major cities. As more information comes in, we'll break in with any new developments.
Mecca is the birthplace of Islam, where the infamous Black Rock is located. This is where all Muslims must make a pilgrimage at least once in their lives, to walk its lengths and give total allegiance to Allah and Muhammad. Medina is also another historic site in the Islamic religion of importance. As we have learned, the Holy Bible mentions that such areas in the Middle East would be targets by the ruler of the North or Russia during the Great Tribulation. We aren't sure if the Saudi government ever made plans for a nuclear assault on their nation, but from all evidence we have heard, they were not expecting anything like this. Russia made a pact with the Iranian people some 100 years ago which exempted any possible attack from Russian forces. As a matter of fact, only Western nations like America were on the list of probable targets should any nation other than an Islamic State attempt to attack another Islamic State. Israel is the only other nation that the Islamic groups hate even more than America. We're going now to Yosemite National Park. This was a few minutes ago after a nuclear explosion was witnessed by an NBC News crew who were there to report on wildfires. The entire area was engulfed with flames from the flash of the explosion from approximately 40 miles away. All we know is that they lost control of their van and no other information has been received since then. This was about 30 minutes ago, according to our New York studios. Because of radiation, no crews are allowed out at the present time because of danger to the men and women who normally risk their lives bringing these stories to your living rooms. No other information as yet from the Office of Homeland Security. Local government FEMA offices are still accessing the situation to give updates on radiation levels. Here at 11 Alive in Atlanta, we'll be updating that information as soon as we receive IT from GEMA or the Georgia Emergency Management Agency. Attention all viewers. The National Aeronautics and Space Administration have made the unbelievable announcement just in the past 5 minutes that an asteroid undetected by the Hubble telescope has already entered the Earth's gravitational influence and is expected to impact somewhere in the continental United States within the next 2 hours. How this could happen, no one knows. Another type of planetoid was detected moving around the Sun last year, but they didn't feel it would reach the Earth. They are calling this asteroid Wormwood after the fabled biblical account in Revelation because of its unexplainable appearance from nowhere. All civilians should seek immediate shelter wherever you live. No one believes we can survive this impact, but for certain, the ocean's life will most likely be existent after this happens. We are expecting an outcome similar to the Ice Age some 3 billion years ago when the dinosaurs were killed off. Earthquakes are expected shortly as the asteroid enters the atmosphere. All citizens, take cover now. To correct my earlier statements, all marine animals in the oceans of the world will become extinct very soon. If you still believe that animals are more important than human life, I suggest you cradle your pets now, because all forms of life will be affected by this global event that is about to take place around the world. In the future moments we have, according to the Bible, it says that 1/3 of all life will be snuffed out when the fresh water will be polluted by this impact. Any human life left will most likely survive underground somewhere, but not above where we are presently. We'll continue broadcasting as long as we can. Until all power is lost, we'll continue giving any new information we receive from FEMA and the Office of Homeland Security.
Come until me, all who hunger and thirst, and I will give you rest. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Come until me, all who suffer oppression and are afflicted, and I will give you peace.
Hey, that we Jesus Christ I just saw on our screens. He has returned for his church, his bride. What a great moment in human history this is. NASA is advising all media outlets that smaller meteors are also expected prior to impact of the actual asteroid itself. We don't foresee any hope for the human race but one, Jesus Christ. We just saw him appear on our screens. There are reports coming in at present of massive disappearances around the world. In America, millions have simply vanished. According to FEMA, it happened just as the image of Jesus Christ appeared on our television screens. We heard a statement he made and then nothing else. He vanished from the screen himself and then this happened. This is a nightmare like nothing the world has ever witnessed or experienced in human history. We have a nuclear war going on all around us, a massive asteroid about to hit the Earth which will cause a global ice age. This should put every global warming activist in their place. Our world is facing extinction in a relatively short time, and now we see the real horror of this world. Socialism, communism, and now total annihilation? In the few seconds we have, this should be noted. Society had become totally complacent and uncaring of the simplest things, human lives. Humanity became procrastinators of their own folly. Doing whatever made them happy, whether they cared if that were right or not didn't matter to them. Society was doomed from that time, and today we see the results of ignorance to responsibility. Whatever happens, ladies and gentlemen, we deserved this. We did this to ourselves by denying that God is our only hope for a future. Now, the atheists and the degenerates have destroyed this world for all. But you can still accept Jesus Christ as your Savior right now wherever you are. He is humanity's only hope for tomorrow. Telemetry shows the asteroid is now entering the troposphere. We're getting reports from our correspondents in the field that earthquakes are being felt in Atlanta, Bangor in Maine, in Damascus, Moscow, Morocco, Manila, Guam. This is endless, hopeless to continue. I'm Andrea Mitchell for NBC News. Be safe anyone watching this broadcast.
In accordance with the Federal Communications Commission and the Office of Homeland Security, this network is now leaving the area. The forthcoming announcement from the Office of the President of the United States will advise the nation of what to expect in the next few minutes. Please stand by. in accordance with the Federal Communications Commission and the Office of Homeland Security, this network is now leaving the area. The forthcoming announcement from the Office of the President of the United States will advise the nation of what to expect in the next few minutes. Please stand by.
His name is Omran Daknesh, just 5 years old, and his feet barely hung over the edge of a seat in an ambulance. Dazed, he didn't cry as he wiped away blood and the dust of a building that collapsed around him in an airstrike. His silence somehow reminded the world today of its silence in the face of the atrocities in Aleppo. Omran was pulled out alive Wednesday. 5 other children died when the building they were in was hit during the relentless Syrian-Russian offensive on rebel-held areas in Aleppo. The image of Omran's face spread like wildfire on the internet. One tweet called him the real representative of the Syrian people.
Stop killing Syrian innocent people, civilian. Our children need to live in peace.
The doctor who treated Omran said today there were many more severe cases no one is paying attention to.
We need to protect our hospital, our doctors, our medical workers from airstrike.
Omran was recovering. His family now wants to escape. The same choice another boy's family made a year ago, Aylan Kurdi, whose body washed up on a beach. He too was a symbol of Syria's youngest victims. Now there's a new one. Tomorrow there may be another. Richard Engel, NBC News.
They've reported from around the world, challenged the powerful, and they bring all of this to every story that breaks.
We've got breaking news, and it's good news.
And touches your heart.
How do you even say thank you? Thank you is not big enough.
I made this.
The images shocked the world. Relentless bombings. Stunned survivors.
Hi, I'm Khairul berubah. Hi, I'm Betty. Apa?